Hello, Big Tube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and it is already time for us to tell you about Middle Grade May. Yes, we are bringing it back again this year. If you don't know, Middle Grade May was started a long time ago, way before Middle Grade March, way before March Mystery Madness, way before any of that stuff, way before I ever even started on BookTube. And Middle Grade May was started by a booktuber named Akos from the channel Akosawak. As far as I know, her videos are still up. She was a middle grade cheerleader, and she started this readathon, and I sort of joined in every once in a while as a co-host when she was still doing it. She eventually retired it, and we asked her a couple of years ago if we could bring it back, and I am joined by the same three other co-hosts that have joined together for the last, I guess, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. I've lost track. But we've been doing it for a few years now. Myself and Storm from Storm Reads, Lee from Dark Roots Creations, and Beth from Soul Stained Ink. So this year, our theme is Pick Your Path. Now, I may have sort of come up with this idea for an ulterior motive, because I sort of fell down a rabbit hole of one particular subgenre of a subgenre of books, and I want to explore that group of books. I want to just immerse myself in those books for the whole month. And I couldn't do it if I was doing a bunch of prompts from various things in different genres and all that. So I said to the group, hey, why don't we do a kind of choose your own adventure, pick your path sort of an idea? And what if each of us picked a different adventure, a different path, and then we could invite you, the participants, to pick a path. You could pick your own path, or you could pick one of our paths, and we'll be your tour guide through that path. And just kind of do that for the month of May. And they said, okay, let's do it. So now, I'm filming this really early because I'm going to be gone on a trip at the time this video uploads. So right now, as I'm filming, it's not even the end of March yet. And we still have, finish March Mystery Madness and then Amish in April and all that stuff. But I couldn't wait that long because this has to get up, and out there in the world so that you can plan for May. And so I forgot where I was going with that. With that whole explanation. My daughter says explaining is my superpower. A little over the top as far as she's concerned. Anyway, I really don't know where I was going with that. So at this point, we are still a little bit undecided about the prompts. Will we each have our own specific prompts? Will there be some prompts that are generic and then a couple that are specific to our path, or what? So I came up with some prompts that I think will work for any of the paths, but I'm not going to impugn that on them. They don't necessarily have to use my prompts for their path. But I'm going to tell you my prompts, and if you want to use them for whatever path you choose, whether it's one of ours or your own, then I think you'll be fine. If you want to just read middle grade books and you don't want to follow any path, that's fine too. Now, what I think would be kind of fun, since it's a choose your own adventure, pick your own path kind of an idea, if you want to pick a book from each of our paths, we're going to call that day trips. If you want to do a day trip, and, just dip your toe in to each one of the adventures that we are choosing, you can totally do that. So let me review the prompts that I came up with, and I'll be right back to show you my prompts. So I paused the video to review the prompts, and while I was sitting at the desk, someone knocked on the door for the second time in the last hour, and it was, of course, someone selling solar. But while I was outside talking to them, one of those little gnats flew in my mouth, and so now I'm about to choke from breathing in one of the little bugs. Anyway, back to Middle Grade May. So what we're doing is pick your path. So the path I have chosen is science fiction. I want to do a deep dive into some science fiction books. More specifically, I want to deep dive into reading some Star Wars books. I have been a Star Wars fan since I saw the movie for the first time in 1977 at the theater. And I wouldn't consider myself an over-the-top Star Wars fan. I don't have everything memorized, and I haven't really studied all the continuity of everything. But for most of 2023, my husband and I did spend a good bit of time watching on Disney Plus all of Star Wars movies and series in timeline order. And we finished up, I think, around January or early February. And it was so fun. So now we are, of course, watching the newest season of The Bad Batch, which was just released a few weeks ago. And I understand that there's going to be a new series coming out soon, The Acolyte, and I think a new season of Andor. So there's going to be a lot more stuff to watch. And there are some other things that are made for kids and some things like that, some animated stuff that we haven't watched that we will. So I am just all about Star Wars right now. And I realized, well, I didn't just realize, I've known this for a long time. I have never read a single Star Wars book. The only thing even related to Star Wars that I have read is the Origami Yoda series, which is not science fiction. It is about some middle school kids and their adventures, but each of the books is themed around Star Wars. So that is an adorable series, and that would be an option if you would like to join me and follow my Star Wars science fiction path for middle grade May. You could read one or more books from the Origami Yoda series. They are so fun. But what I am going to do is read some Star Wars books. Now, there are Star Wars books written for adults. There are some YA books. There are middle grade books. There are elementary books. And I'm going to read kind of a variety of those things. And I really just fell down a rabbit hole a while back. And because, well, for one thing, I had purchased several Star Wars books at a thrift store and occasionally at a library sale. So now I've got a pretty decent little collection of Star Wars books, and I didn't know where to start. So I found a website called Utini, and they have several different options and recommended reading orders. And I still haven't really decided for sure what I would like to do, because as I went through and looked and did a little bit of research on YouTube and things like that, it seems like there are basically two different categories of Star Wars books. There's the Star Wars Legends, which is everything that was written before Disney took over the Star Wars franchise, and then Canon, which is everything after. And as I was looking at the titles and comparing them to the Utini reading order, it seems like a lot of the Legends books are ones that are not very well liked, at least not by the people in Utini who voted. But I'm still a read in order kind of girl, and I would like to sort of go back to the beginning. So what I think was one of the first, if not the first, fan fiction books outside of the novelizations about the first three movies is this one right here. So I ordered this from the library. I got it home. I looked through it, and I thought, and this is really kind of what made me get this idea, because I thought, you know what? Star Wars Day is May the 4th, and May would just be a great time to read Star Wars books. But I have middle grade May, so how can I incorporate Star Wars into middle grade May? And so this was kind of my whole thought process. I'm showing you the picture because I can't honestly remember the title right now. But in looking at the list of oldest to newest of the Legends books, this one is listed first. Then second is the Han Solo Adventures, and I believe there are only 3, and I own all of them. So my plan is to start with that first one, and then I want to read the Han Solo Adventures. Now, actually, before I read those, I may start with the novelization of the original Star Wars movie, which is Episode 4, A New Hope. I also own novelizations of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I have owned these 6 books for many years, and I have never read them. But then in going through all the reading orders and everything, I noticed that there seems to be a consensus that this book, which is a YA book, is a favorite. And many lists and people recommend that you read this one first. So I won't read it first, but I do want to read it at some point during May. Now, it's not middle grade, but middle graders can read YA generally, so I think it's okay. This is Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. And then I also own a few other Star Wars books that are middle grade books. This is a series that are based on various people in Star Wars. Now, I have owned this one for quite a while. This is A New Hope, The Life of Luke Skywalker. It came in this sleeve. I believe I got this at a Scholastic Warehouse sale. And that's what this one looks like. So that's neat. Then at some point, I picked up both of these. One's paperback and one is hardcover. This hardcover does not have a sleeve, which is disappointing because it would probably be kind of like the Luke Skywalker one. But this one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. The subtitle is The Life and Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then I have this paperback of Darth Vader, and it's from the same series, The Rise and Fall of Darth Vader. Then I also have this series, which I had one of for quite a while, and then all 3 of these came into the bookstore where I work, and I had to purchase them immediately. This is a series by 3 different authors, and I'm pretty sure these are YA, but I don't know, and I don't know what order they go in. Beware the Power of the Dark Side. This is Return of the Jedi. It's by Tom Engelberger, who I believe wrote the Origami Yoda books. This one is by Alexandra Bracken, The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy. And then this one is by Adam Gidwitz, So You Want to Be a Jedi. So I just noticed I've got stickers to clean off of all of those. But anyway, that's a possibility. And then I also have these little golden books that I might read with Emily. This is A New Hope, and The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Aren't these so cute? I didn't even know they made these. Those are adorable. And I think there are little golden books for episodes 1, 2, and 3 also. So I need to be on the lookout for those. Okay, so how is this all going to work as far as prompts and everything? Now, Lee from Dark Arts Creations has made some adorable graphics for each of us, and if I am able to show you mine here, I will. She did say she was going to, I believe, going to send it to me as a Google Doc, so if I can't get it embedded into the video, I will leave a link for it down below. And I believe how mine is going to look is that there will be stars. You know, I can flip from star to star as I read each book, and then I have my destination, whatever planet is going to be my destination. Now, in my mind, though, because I'm going to just be going from star to star, my destination is really, in the long run, is going to be, you know, to get back home. So how I'm seeing this as like, I'm planning my trip. I'm making my TBR. And then I'm packing my bags. So in order to pack my bags, I've got to get all the books together that I'm going to read. So I'm getting those together. And then each stop along the way, I've got a different prompt. So, for instance, the first prompt, my first prompt is going to be a new discovery. Sometimes, you know, you go on a trip and you discover something new while you're on the way. So for this prompt, that is to read a book by an author that's new to you. It's a new discovery. So for my second prompt, it's going to be Tourist Trap. I want you to read a book that everybody else has read, something that you haven't read, but everybody else has. It's a tourist trap. Everybody's there. Everybody's reading it. Everybody's going there. So I think something like this would work totally for that. But, you know, this is a YA book, so now these don't need to go in any certain order. Another prompt might be to read a hidden gem, maybe something that's kind of a sleeper that hardly anyone has heard of, and you have discovered it, and so you're going to read it because, you know, that's what you do when you're on a trip. You like to discover new places and do fun and unique things. Another one might be to take a tour. Sometimes when you get to your destination, you take a tour. So for Take a Tour, I want you to read a series book or read a whole series. That's kind of a tour. You're going to tour through this whole series and read as many as you want for, for middle grade May. And then if you want to read more, then you just, your next prompt could be explore further. You can hit as many stars along the way as you want before finally coming back home and then doing your wrap up. So for your wrap up, or really if you want to share along the way what you are reading and how much you are enjoying it, Storm from Storm Reads, who is one of our co-hosts, has her own Discord, and she has a segment of her Discord group that is for middle grade May. So that will kind of be our social media hub for middle grade May. We will use Storm's Discord, and I will have a link in the description below. If I forget, go to Storm's channel and get it, or just let me know in the comments and I'll make sure that I get it added. Anyway, in case you are trying to figure out now, okay, how can I make this work for me? Each of the hosts are going to be going on a different adventure, a different path. So I want to encourage you to watch each of their videos and see where their path is going. If you want to join me, then that would mean you would read some science fiction books all month. If you want to follow Storm, then you need to see what she is doing and read the same genre that she is reading. Same for Lee and same for Beth. If you don't want to do any of the things that we are doing and you still like the prompts, so here's one idea, kind of a generic idea that none of us are actually doing, but it's something that we've talked about, and that's just a general road trip. And the prompts that I gave you would totally work for that. And so really it doesn't have to be travel related, just any middle grade books. And the prompts would be to read a new to you author, to read a hidden gem or a sleeper, to read something that everybody has already read. Everybody's read it but you, like a tourist trap. To read a series book, that's Take a Tour. And then anything else that you want to read just to further explore. And when you get done, be sure that you tag us if you want to do an Instagram post or a video or anything and share with us and the world what you read for middle grade May, then please do so. Now, of course, you can, at the beginning of all of that, do a TBR video. That's planning your trip. That's packing your bags to get all your books together and show us what you want to read. So I hope that you will join us. I'm right now not going to mention the actual paths that the other co-hosts are taking because I want you to go and watch their videos, throw some love to all the other co-hosts, and see what they are up to, and hopefully you will subscribe. Now, I've got a couple of other books here that I will show you just for a few other ideas. One other Star Wars book that I own is The Lost City of the Jedi. This is probably a middle grade book, so it's probably not on my long list of the Legends and Canon books that I got from Utini, but that's another one that I own. But outside of Star Wars, a science fiction series that I would highly recommend is this one right here. I finished reading this trilogy a couple of years ago, and I loved every one of these books. This first book is Randoms. The trilogy is by David Liss, and Randoms is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. The second book is Rebels, and the third book is Renegades. These are so much fun, and if your library has them or you can get them, then I would highly recommend them. There are so many other science fiction books that you could choose, and if you would like to join me on my path and explore strange new worlds, seek out new civilizations, and boldly go where no reader has gone before, well, a lot of readers have gone before, but you get it, then let's read some science fiction books together for middle grade May. But before you decide, I want you to check out the other videos and see all the other adventures that the other co-hosts have chosen. And if you want to go your own route, you can use these prompts that I've given you as just generic prompts for anything that you want to read, or you can use the prompts that each of the other hosts are going to be sharing with you in their videos. Whatever you decide to do, I hope you have a great time. Please join the Storm's Discord and share with us what you're reading. Oh, before I go, I got some book mail from a middle grade author. It just came today. Reached out to me in an email, and the title of the email said Middle Grade March. And I said, well, I'm not involved in Middle Grade March because I'm busy with March Mystery Madness. I said, but I do have something to do with Middle Grade May. And so, you know, I said I would be sure to take a look at the book and share it with you. And, you know, I said I can't promise that I can read it during middle grade May because I have some other goals. In fact, I have already been asked to participate in a buddy read, and Donna, you were the one that asked me, and this is why, because I really want to do a deep dive into science fiction. But I wanted to show you what I got. I can't even remember what he told me. This actually looks like this could work. Maybe not. I can't tell if it's historical or science fiction. Oh, it's historical. Okay, so this is, I remember now. It's a historical Christian middle grade book. That's fantastic. It's by Jared Acuna, and I believe he is a Floridian. And this is what it looks like. It's called All Battles End at Sunset. It has won some awards. Look at that. On the back, it says 1562 Florida. That sounds really awesome. So if I don't get it read in May, I will for sure get it read as soon as I can after that, because that looks really cool. Thank you, Jared. If you're watching this, thank you so much. Yeah, this just looks really neat. It says this is during the time of Queen Elizabeth on the throne in England. The Inquisition strikes through the heart of Spain. In France, it's Catholic against Protestant in a time that will forever be known as the French Wars of Religion. 12-year-old orphan boy Marcel finds himself caught up in the action when he joins legendary sea captain Jean Ribault. I think that's how you say it. It looks like Jean Ribault, but I'm sure it's French. And his crew of French freedom fighters known as the Huguenots. Searching for a haven for the persecuted of Europe, together they set sail for Florida, where mysterious native Timucuans, that's an Indian tribe, watch from the palm trees, and dragon-like alligators lurk in the swamps, only to be hunted down by the life Marcel and the Huguenots all thought they could escape. So that sounds fantastic. It is published by Hilt and Arrow, and yay, so this sounds really cool. And that is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.